Okay, guys, welcome to, this is, we're still on our second week, right? Session 4? Second
Session
week.
4.
Thank you, sir. See, he's on it. Thank you. So for everybody online, you guys are missing out today. We have a nice little spread of Greek cuisine. We're the lucky ones that are here and get to eat. So we're going to get started actually now. I'm just going to do a quick intro while everybody else is grabbing their food and kind of coming in. So we have a special guest today. Our special guest is our Wizard of Oz, the lady behind the curtains, whose voice you hear all the time. Her name is Cara. Cara is our program director, but she does a lot more than that. Cara is a part of the reason this program exists, actually. She's the creator of it. She's the one that you guys nag about Canva, and she appreciates it. Don't worry. She'll tell you this is kind of her first year working out some of the bugs with Canva, so she's open to all the suggestions and feedback. So I'm going to hand it off to her at this point, and I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Roxana. Hi, everyone. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. And yes, this is our first year with Canvas and doing Slack. So if you have any issues, please email me. I'm happy to assist. All right. So today we're going to be talking about.
Sorry, Cara, we're just working with the.
That's okay. I got a clicker. We're going to be talking about the business model canvas today. I'm good. We're going to be talking about the business model canvas. This is an essential tool for planning your business and just putting all of the core components all on one page. Everybody here should have a copy of the business model canvas and then the ad lib exercise. Everybody online. This is something that I actually don't know if it's on Canvas, but I'll make sure it's on Canvas for you. So you guys have access to the business model canvas. It's also a public resource by the company Strategizer. So you can also just Google business model canvas. So business model design. The goal of business models, of the business model canvas, is to provide you with a roadmap so that you know where you're trying to go with your business. There's the days of 30-day business plans are behind us. And now we've got this single sheet where we talk about the 9 core elements that are important for advancing your business. And so we're going to get into all of that today. And I want you to know that everything is open to change. Everything's open to pivot. It's very flexible. That's another reason it's on a single sheet of paper. It's meant to just like put a couple of thoughts in there. Okay, erase them, get out a new canvas, rip up the old one. It's okay. It's meant to pivot, it's meant to change. It's a lot more flexible than those 30-page documents that they would have people make in business school. So why do so many startups fail? There's a lot of reasons for this, but I think it's because they don't get specific enough about the roadmap and where they want to go, and they don't know how they want to implement their ideas. And so, I may have some big grand idea, I want to start a company, but I don't ever really know where to start, and so it stays an idea. And so the point of the business model canvas is to push you into action and to create something. So I love this chart. This says that as we reduce uncertainty, we create value. So we want to create something of value. We want to create a new business. We want to create change in the world. We want to make something that didn't exist before us. So how do I do that? I have to first recognize that there's a lot I don't know, and that's okay. I'm very uncertain about my business model. I maybe have a bunch of ideas and concepts and places that it could be, but I don't know for sure until I test that by talking to my customers. And that's what this is all about. We're going to go through everything on our canvas today. We're going to identify every single thing that we're uncertain about or is not 100% a fact. And we are going to create a plan for turning that into a certainty and create value for your business. So we're going to actually create your vision on paper. And so the business model canvas, it's got 9 core elements, and we're going to be going through each of these elements today. For everybody online, if you don't have a canvas, please grab a piece of paper and start to get ready for today's activity. There's going to be a lot of writing. This is going to be an open activity session today. This is the business model canvas, and we are going to be going through everything that you need to start a business. So everything on the left is what I call front stage. So if you're going to go to a play, you're going to see everything that's on the stage. We see the actors, you know, we see the costumes, we see the design. This is everything that the public sees. And so a lot of people, when they go to create their business, maybe they're copying another business they see, and what they're actually copying is this front stage design. But there's this whole backstage that we don't see. The backstage is everything on the right. This is your supporting actors. This is everybody who's behind the curtain who is making this happen. And so I want to divide this for you so that we focus on what does the customer see, what do our partners see, and then what do we need on the back end functionally to support the front end to make this happen, right? So here, this is your curtain, and nobody sees what's going on back here, right? An example is Tesla. We know what Tesla's product is. So we know what their product is. We know who their customers are, but we don't see what's going on backstage. We don't know who Elon's talking to today, for example. We don't know what he's doing in the back end. And so I call attention to this because it's important that we focus on the back end of our company and the front end. So all of the hidden things that need to happen in order to support things that are on the stage that the rest of the world is going to see. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling out our canvas as we go. So everybody should have a canvas, and I'm going to take some time to pause so that you have time to fill out each of the boxes. So I have a couple of rules. No sentences, only bullet points. This is not your 30-page business model, business plan, bullet points, okay? So 1 to 2 bullet points. The other thing is that each idea needs to be its own bullet point. So you may realize at this point that you might need multiple canvases, and we do have some extras that we can grab you. And then the final thing is no orphan items. If you've got one bullet on your, like for example, if you have a key partner on your canvas and they're not helping you do anything on your canvas, so they're not connected to anything, either remove them or build something around them. The goal is that everything is interconnected on this canvas, and if you have a single item that is not touching something else, you got to remove it. Okay? Any questions about that before we get in? Yes?
Do they need to be related to everything or just to something else?
The question is if they have to be related to everything or something else. They have to just be related to at least one other thing. And then altogether, it will create a fabric. So for example, if I have a value proposition, I should have a customer that is interested in that value proposition, and they go together. And then if I have a key partner, that key partner is either connected to that customer or they're connected to the value proposition. So they're connected to something. But if you have a key partner, and this, I see this one a lot, if you have a key partner on your list, but you don't actually have anything you're doing with them, and maybe it's a friend, or, oh, they're, you know, we've worked together a really long time, I really have to put them on the list, don't put them on the list. They're not going to see it. It's okay. But it's really important that we're putting people and things on here that are connected to something else so that we can see how the whole picture comes together. And so that we can also see easily, in an easier way, what needs to be struck and what needs to be added. Yes.
I didn't hear anything.
Sorry, hold on. Mike.
I got it.
Thank you.
If you could just expound upon the box for channels, what are we?
We're gonna go into
Oh, you're gonna go through each one? Okay.
each every single one of them. Yeah. So, but we are going to be doing this exercise for every box today. So before we get into it, any questions about the rules? No sentences, only bullet points, no orphan items. Okay. All right. And if there are questions, just raise your hand. It's all right.
I'll come with the mic if you do have questions. Yell at me.
So the first thing that we start with is our customer segment. So for whom are we creating value? Is it a mass market, niche market? And what do they have in common? So think about this, write this down. Who are your customers? The answer is automatically wrong if it's just an age bracket, or it's everybody, or it has the word all in it. It's not your customer. Get extremely specific as you can be, right? Like if you're selling solar panels and you're selling it to homeowners, it's not just homeowners, right? Like, are you going to go knock on the door of every single homeowner? Like, be very specific. What do they all have in common? Maybe they all belong to a group. Maybe they're all regionally connected. These are examples. Yeah. Any questions online?
I'm not seeing any yet.
Yes.
Hold please, hold please, hold please. There you go. You want to stand up and?
Thanks, Fernando. Just wanted to get clarification on segmented. Is that like another different than niche and mass market? Is that like a whole new category?
It depends on the way that the market is broken up, but it could be like a broader market, and then you can talk about age bracket within that, so you can have a segment of this mass market. But the goal is to start big and then get very, very specific.
Okay.
And think about Maggie's talk that she did on customer discovery and some of the questions that you may be
Like Tam and Solomon related. Okay.
right, how that's broken down. All right, we'll just give it another minute and then we'll move on. All right, now value proposition. You hear value proposition a lot, and this is the definition I'm going to go with today. But what is the value that we deliver to the customer? And you could think of, and you could think about these as different types of bullets you can be filling out, right? So what value do you deliver to the customer? I don't mean your product, but what is the value to that customer? What is that thing that you are creating for them that said, yes, I choose your product? What is that value? What problem are we solving? I don't mean your problem, the problem that they have defined. What is that problem very specifically? Bonus points if you know the metrics and the number and the scope of that problem. That always is a great way to tell me it's a real problem. And then now we can talk about your product. So what bundles of products or services are we offering to each customer segment? So value, problem, and then the bundled product that is offered to that customer segment. Now keep in mind, we don't want these orphan items, right? So everything that we have just put in our customer segments, it's a good idea to think about what do each of these people find value of in your product. So we want to draw a line between the two, right? So if you have a long list of features, and you've got one customer, either think about maybe that you don't need so many features, or maybe there are different types of customers you're not thinking about. So we got to get very, very specific.
Card, did you want to see if there's any questions online? Maggie, are there any questions from anybody online?
One person was having trouble editing the document, and so I put a link into the Strategizer website so that they can download it. Once you download it, unless you have a copy of Adobe where you have edit ability, you'll have to print it and then write on it. And if you have a workbook, you could just, there are business model canvases in the workbook.
Yeah, and Strategizer is a great online tool. Beyond the business model canvas, they've got a whole bunch of other great resources. So definitely check out Strategizer's website right there.
Other than that, I don't see any other questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now relationships. What keeps your customers coming back? What is the difference between a one-on-one relationship, like a one-time purchase versus a recurring purchase? Oh, yeah. Okay. So my favorite example is Starbucks. So if you are visiting another town and you're just driving through and you want a cup of coffee, why might you choose Starbucks versus a local coffee shop? Does anyone have any ideas? Always the same. You always know what you're going to get. Yes. That's it. The mobile app and the rewards program. This is a relationship tool. They keep you coming back because they've got stars. They've got this gift card that you can load up on it. You know, yes, the rest of this is brand, and brand is another type of thing that they use to keep you coming back. But people use apps and the punch cards and all of these different tools as a customer relationship tool so that they come back. So think about what keeps people coming back to you. Subscriptions, that's a really great type of customer relationship tool. So think about other things like that that could keep people coming back versus a one-time purchase. If you're doing hardware, consider like warranty plans, plans where they have to come back and they have to regularly install stuff, training plans, things like that. Okay. And the reason that we draw this arrow this way is because this is how your customer is interacting with your product. Whoa, what did I do?
You touched, don't worry, yeah.
It's a smart board. Yeah. Okay, and now we talk about channels. Channels is pretty straightforward. This is either your physical channels or this is your marketing channels. How does this product come to your customers? Either it comes to their ears and their phone, physically it's at their door. How does this product end up in their hands? What does that look like specifically? I'll take a couple of minutes to fill that in. And let me just emphasize, it's okay if you don't know. This is all a bunch of hypotheses and guesses and assumptions because we're trying to reduce that uncertainty and to create value. So this is how we do that. We put down all the things we don't know today and guesses, that's all good, that's fine. So that we can start to test that and create value. So guesses are fine. Yes. Expand on the first point. How you deliver value to your customers. So we've talked about what your value is and who it's a value for. How are you going to get that into the hands of your customer? So maybe it's caffeine and it's a cup of coffee. How am I going to get that? How am I going to make that easier? Maybe it's drive-throughs. Maybe it's mobile ordering. Maybe it's online web services, right? If it was like a cup of coffee or something. But how does that come to me? And what are the different ways that it can come to me? Mm-hmm. All right, so this is the stage. We have just set the stage. So everything here is outward facing. This is what you can build a business model canvas on any company's front stage because it's all public information. But we're going to now focus on our supporting characters and the things that need to happen in order to make the front stage work. And the reason I emphasize this is because we've again talked about no orphan items, right? Nothing stands alone. So everything that's on the backstage, everything that's behind the curtain must exist to support something, someone on the stage. I have to touch this thing.
Cara,
Yes.
could you go back and show the contents under the customer segments section?
For whom are we creating value? So really the goal of this section is to talk about very, very specifically who your customers are, right? Don't say it's 18 to 26-year-olds. Don't tell me it's everyone who is a homeowner. I want it to be a lot more specific.
Okay, and then just a comment from Atul. He is saying in his experience, value is in the eye of the customer. No matter how well thought out the marketing deck is, if the potential customer is not caught by the value selling a product is very difficult.
Well, yes. So the customers ultimately have to want it. You're solving a problem for them. If you are going to build something with all the bells and whistles because you're excited about it, because you want it, but the customer doesn't want it, it's not going to succeed. That's a technology push. We're trying to get it into the market and we're trying to force it down their throat, which means we have to educate them, and it doesn't work, right? We want the market to tell us what they want. What problems do they have in their lives? What are they struggling with? I find a really great definition of this is who cares more about the problem than I do? Like, I care about it. I'm starting a company. But who cares more about the problem than I do? Who has a job to care that this gets solved? You know, who is losing sleep at night that this isn't getting solved? So who cares more about this problem than I do? And I mean like the person. Who is that person? Who is that position at that company that really cares about this? That's who you should be putting into this customer segment box. Any additional comments before I move on? I know customer segments is one we're going to come back to. Okay. All right, so partners. My favorite definition of partners is partners don't pay each other, they help each other get paid. Right? So partners don't pay each other, they help each other get paid. We are in this for a common reason. We both want to create something. And in this case, for the purposes of the canvas, everyone that you partner with as a key partner should help you be either building your value proposition or helping you establish a relationship to your customers. And it's a common interest with this key partner to build that or to reach that customer. So again, everything that's happening on this side is the backstage that supports the front stage. So take some time to really think out all of the different partners that you're going to work with, that you need to work with. They're going to help you build out your value proposition, the things that you're creating of value. Think about the product itself, the services, the elements of it, but then also the actual problem that you are interested in solving. Who is going to be your partner that's going to help you with that? And then with your customer segment, we've just defined a very specific person with a very specific role at a very specific company. So who's going to help you reach them? Who are you going to partner with to reach this market? So think about those kinds of things. And again, this could be a complete guess, and it should be a guess at this point. We're going to just build a whole list of guesses that we're going to go out and test. It is a hard one. But partners don't pay each other, they help each other get paid. We're going to come to paid services later. So just think about everybody that you're going to work with who has a common interest in this problem, right? Who cares more about this problem than I do? Maybe the key partners are just as equally vested in us creating a solution. So spend some time on this. We'll take some time to answer this. Do we have an online question?
Yeah, question. I think a lot of folks, I think I might know the answer, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. Like, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they ask the question, and I do myself, you know, there's a famous quote attributed to Ford. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses, right? So what do you say about that? So like asking people what their problem is, I think I might know what the answer might be, but yeah.
Well, but that isn't a question of asking them what their problem was. That was asking them what they want. The problem is getting to a location faster. And that opens up the world of possible solutions. Because I'm not going to ask the customer the product they want. I want to deeply understand the problems that they're facing every day. Maybe it's in their family, it's in their house, it's in their work, it's on their way to school every day. What sorts of things are they encountering every day that are keeping them up at night? And then can you scale that? Are there a lot of people who are encountering that issue? What do they all have in common? Maybe they all are in the same area. Maybe they all have the same hobby. You know, there's different things that will group them together. So first we focus on the problem. We're not going to talk about the product. The product doesn't matter until we know the problem.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, Roshana.
Who was it? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Can you partner with someone that won't get paid from it?
You can partner with someone who will get paid. It's just that you guys should not be exchanging cash.
Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be paying them. They can get money out of the deal, but it shouldn't be an exchange of, like, I'm not just going to pay you. If I'm going to pay for you to market my services, market my product, then that's just a service agreement. We're not really like partners. But if you're going to give me, you know, you're going to blast my event out for free to the whole community because you also are trying to get into the community. It's free. We're not exchanging any money, but maybe we are going to be putting something out into the world that could give us returns in different ways.
Okay, it makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So like we shouldn't be paying each other, but that doesn't mean money isn't to be made.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Kara, I just question, that's not necessarily that rule. I think it's a great rule, a great explanation of it, but that's not necessarily written in stone per se in relation to the exchange of money. The reason I asked that specifically is because I have key partners, and some of those key partners are more financially stable than a startup. So would you count if they were investing in a project as exchange of money, as opposed to it being services rendered? I understand what you're saying, like they should be paying us, but I do have key partners that are willing to invest in the project. I wouldn't
count that.
So that wouldn't count in that.
Yeah, and this is more like a customer relationship.
Gotcha.
Like if you have a customer relationship with this person, then you're not a key partner. Not in this definition. And of course, this is very general for the business model canvas. But a lot of people tend to put the people that they're paying, like service partners, like their website provider or whatever, on the key partners list. And my goal with saying that partners don't pay each other, they help each other get paid is to just focus broadly on who you're like actually like partnered with to do this, you know, versus somebody that you're just paying to get it done.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Hey, a partner would be synonymous with, or see, a sponsor would be synonymous with a partner then
Yes.
probably, right? Okay.
Yeah, sponsors can be partners.
So, Cara,
Yes.
so what about a brand? Say, for instance, you have a company, and say, let's take Walmart, right?
Mhm.
So Walmart likes to get their brands out, or different companies like to get their brands out, right? Is that considered a partnership with Walmart? Is there certain brands?
That is a partnership because what we're doing is we're pooling resources, and the goal is to get everything, either to get it out further out into the world or to make money for both partners at the end of it.
Okay.
It's not just a one-on-one, like I paid you for this and our relationship is over. This is, we have pooled resources to go off and create either a new value or a way of reaching my customers. So in that case, that's a way of reaching your customers.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, my question is just if you have like examples to get my gears turning, because I feel like I'm like, I don't know how to answer this one at all.
Okay.
This is like a tough one.
Okay. Well, does anyone want to give me a business as an example to work with?
Okay, well, I'll share mine. Yeah,
Okay.
if mine's like a wellness company for seniors. So
Okay.
I'm a senior fitness specialist, so I do fitness, but I also do nutrition and education,
Okay.
and then also like meditation practices. And I see it as like a community for seniors to know how to stay active, how to stay connected once they retire.
Okay, so what problem are you solving?
How to transition like post-retirement into an active lifestyle within a community.
Okay, that sounds more like a solution.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay, so what's the problem? Who's the problem?
Not knowing, yeah, so recently retired, not knowing how to stay healthy, active.
Okay, and then what is the result of that? Like, what's the negative thing that happens because I don't know?
Staying isolated, not getting in shape, having your health decline.
Okay, so the
yeah.
decline of health in seniors, the social isolation of senior citizens, who else cares about that? Right? So who
Yeah.
cares more about that problem than you do? Maybe there's somebody in the county, maybe there are these services that they're getting paid to solve this and they're failing, right? Like who else cares about the problem itself and would be interested in partnering with you in order to address this? Right. So I think in your case, it's going to be more like social services, like somebody who's like on a governmental level. That's one. That's somebody who cares about the problem, right? But your value proposition is also all of these features and all of like the wellness and all of that. So maybe you could partner with somebody who is offering and delivering those services, and they can help you create your value out. So that's a partnership, and they can get like profit sharing or something.
Active living communities.
Active living communities.
Okay.
Right. So since our customer is basically her customer too, will we
Okay.
kind of be partners because our business revolves around
Yeah.
seniors,
exactly.
but ours is like a digital literacy type stuff.
Great.
So would
Okay.
that still be the partnership, even though we're not solving the same problem specifically?
You're solving adjacent problems, and it's up to you guys to decide if that's close enough fit for you and the problem that you're trying to solve. So what you are now doing is you're building out this value proposition package, but be careful that you're not just building out the value proposition without tying it to your customer segment, because we may get run away with all of the, oh, we could do this and we could do that. But if the customers don't want it, then we shouldn't be building it. So it depends on what the customers want. It depends on who you're actually going to be working with, whether or not they're going to want all of those features. I find that the answer to everything comes down to what is the very specific problem I'm solving, and who am I solving it for, and who else really cares about getting that thing solved. And that's how we figure out who our partners are.
Cara,
Yes.
there were people online offering help to the wellness lady
Oh,
when it
great.
was having challenges. They suggested healthcare insurance. Kara's about the same thing. Carrie suggests that you could partner with 55 plus communities and market in their newsletters.
Perfect.
And a tool suggested SDOH. It is in the interest of payers to keep members who transition into retirement healthy. Maybe you could start Uber Seniors.
Can you
And
say the last one again, before Uber Seniors?
before Uber Seniors, it was in the interest, I don't know what SDOH is, but it is in the interest of the
It's social determinants of health.
Right.
social determinants of health. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a big focus, right? So in my experience, insurance companies, it's in their interest to keep their members healthy. So they do partner with community programs and community resources, but they always ask for some focus, right? So if you go in saying, oh, this is all we do, we do health, we do this, and well, they tend to, shy away. But if you say, we excel in mental health, maintaining mental health of retirees, I can safely say more payers will pay attention to it.
Great. Okay, great. So these are all great examples of partners who all are united under helping the same type of person or solving a related problems, right? So we always just come back to that problem very specifically, and then you can start to think of all the different people who also care about that problem. And they may not be competitors, and a lot of the time they're not going to be competitors, but they're going to be people who are working alongside you to address this, to make this happen. Okay. Any other questions on this? Do you guys have time to write everything you needed to? Okay. So generally, key activities is your to-do list. Everything that we have done up until this point, you have been writing bullet points, no sentences, no orphan items, everything is connected. At this point, you should start thinking about what are the key items that I need to be focusing on next. If I have put a key partner in here and they're going to help me build my product, that's a to-do item, right? If I have a key partner and they're going to help me put it in their newsletter, have that conversation, figure out what that looks like. These are all to-do list items. So key activities are things that must happen. And I don't mean don't put your laundry list of to-do items of I got to start my company. Everything has to be connected to something on this canvas. So if you've mentioned it previously and it needs to happen, put it on here. And if you're putting something on here that you previously didn't touch on at all, either strike it from your list or go and redo your canvas and make sure that thing is incorporated in there. The goal is that everything is connected. I know they gave us a really small box for the to-do list. Key resources is where you can actually start to spend some money. So key resources is what I call your wish list. So everything that you put on here, so far you're not paying your partners, but you got to pay somebody for something, right? So this is where the website goes. This is where your cards go. This is where the materials potentially will go. So these are some key resources and things that you need to spend money on, right? So to-do list, things that must be done that are attached to one of your previous boxes. Key resources wish list. So what am I paying for? All right, while everybody is working on this, do we have any questions online?
No, Cara, not right now.
Okay.
They're working.
All right. I know, I'm seeing a lot of full canvases in the room. It's exciting.
I will say, I really like how this group helps each other.
I feel like that is so important for building a business, your community, the relationships you build, incredibly important.
I think so too. So thank you for everybody online that helped make some suggestions. That's a part of how we become successful, right?
Absolutely.
So Leah has a question. Leah, you can unmute if you wish. Or if you type it, I'll read it.
Oh, thank you. Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Hi, yes.
Great. What I'm wondering here is, do you all recommend building out your product or service completely first, or connecting with key partners and then getting their input and then building?
Ideally, you don't want to, I think that you could do a lot of work without spending any money. I always say a handshake and a conversation is free. And as entrepreneurs, we don't spend money you don't have to spend. So don't go off and build a product unless you know absolutely that your customers want it, that you have partners who are going to support you. You can talk about all of this in theory. You can dream up this whole company without spending $1. And the whole point of the business model canvas is we can pretend this business exists in completion today before you spend any money. And so you have these conversations with people and you say, hey, I've got this I've got this company I'm going to be building, and these are the people that I'm going to be working with. And you build all that stuff up. You know exactly what the features are. You know exactly what the problems are. Then you spend money. Then you get your website. Then you do all this stuff. But don't spend $1 until you know people want it. Like you really know. I don't mean like your family, because if they're not your customers and they're not going to spend money on it, then we're not going to ask them, right? Like if they're going to spend money on it, that's the feedback we want.
If they're your family, they're going to want it for free anyway. But a tool online says, build the product iteratively. And so that way you could make improvements as you go along.
I would
It's the
say
way to
build the
reduce
product.
risk.
I would say build the product iteratively after you've already received the validation, after you've done your market research, after you know the customer segment, after you really know the problem. Then yes, begin to build it iteratively, but don't build it before you talk to people, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to continue to build that thing, and then it's going to be really hard to sell it. Even if you think it's really great, you've got to educate people on it. There's a lot of input that you didn't receive, and it may not go forward. And so I may be really in love with my thing, and I'm like, well, they just don't understand. I'm going to keep building it and keep building it. And I see people do this, and then they're like, well, I ran out of money. Well, you guys just don't get it. And it's like, okay, no, we need to be building something with feedback from our customers in order to build something that people will buy, people will be interested in long term. And then the goal is to be solving a problem ultimately, right? And so if nobody wants it and you've built a product that nobody wants, that means they're not actually solving a problem. And so I think that's the worst place you could be if you've spent thousands of dollars, you're not actually solving a problem and nobody actually wants it. I think that's the worst case.
Awesome. Thank you.
Question. So we're out getting feedback, telling people about this awesome, wonderful idea. And what if they want to start sending customers your way?
It's great validation.
you're okay, but what do you say? Well, I'm not really there yet. Is that really our reaction?
Yeah, I mean, it's, thank you so much for your interest. I'd love to put you on a list. I'd like to get you a demo, and maybe that's like a shell demo, so people do that. And so there are things that you can do. You can build MVPs, and you can really build that interest. But also, ideally, when you're talking to your customers, you're not selling. So you're not going to run into this issue where people want to buy it. If you do, that's great. It's a great problem to have, right? But ideally, you're not selling. You are doing market research on the problem. You're trying to understand the problem. So you're asking more open-ended questions. I find that you get, and I'm actually going to get into this in later slides, but how you do market research and the questions that you ask are very, very important. And they have to be done in a certain way so that you're getting the right feedback, and you're not just giving leading questions and just getting the answers you want to hear.
All right, this was Monday's lesson.
Yes, those were your questions. I have a way that I've got like ways that we ask questions that are a little bit different than yours.
Okay.
Your questions are great, but other questions, yes, also on Monday. So cost structure. So this is pretty much everything that goes into the cost structure box is typically it is a mirror of the key resources, and I would like to not see real numbers in here, but it's the structure. So what are the types of things you're going to be spending money on? Typically, that's your product, that's services for getting off the ground. You can itemize expense types in here, but usually we're not going to be putting all of our financials in here. This is just the things that are high level going to cost us money.
So it's the same as key resources, or key resources where you get money?
No, key resources are the things that you need to spend money on.
Okay.
So typically that's your business cards, your website, the actual materials to build your value proposition. These are the things that we're spending money on that are connected to everything else on the canvas.
Sort of the startup, whereas this is more productized, related to the, got it. I think I understand.
Yeah. Yes, salaries can go in this box.
Carrie has added licensing, insurance, and education.
Yes. All things that will cost you money can go into cost structure. Keep in mind, it has to be connected to something on the box. No orphans.
What would be a bad example to put here? Like this is not full for financials I've seen you put there. What would be a full financial example that we should not put here?
I think this is a pretty open box. Anything that is going to cost you money should go here. Yeah, don't put full financials. Like, don't actually put numbers in here. Right.
It eventually goes away. Tara.
You could go away.
It'll go away. Just give
Oh.
it like 30 seconds.
Stop touching the screen. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions in the room?
All right, revenue. So this is all
Hey,
potential revenue. Oh, yes. have a question
So a tool is saying key resources include marketing and selling expertise. If I scan LinkedIn message in my network, overwhelming majority of new positions are sales related.
Okay, sure, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Oh, neither do I. So I was hoping that you would.
Well, if it's a way that you're making money, then it would go under revenue stream. If it's something that's costing your business money, then it would go under cost structure. So for revenue stream, this is all the different ways that you can make money. Asset sales, subscription fees, licensing, advertising. Think about fixed versus dynamic pricing. Pretty much everything that will make you money. And like a lot of people focus first on direct sales, but think about your customer relationship tool, right? If you've got some app, you've got something that's going to keep people coming back. Are you getting ad revenue? Do you have a partnership agreement that is going to be bringing you revenue? So think of all the different ways that you could be making money besides direct sales. If I'm selling a product, maybe I'm selling a warranty plan, maybe I'm selling insurance, something else that goes on top of it, add-ons, features. Okay. So this is the whole canvas. So at this point, you should all have completed canvases. I'll give you guys a minute. This one. And I'm going to be posting these slides in Canvas too, so you guys have access to it. Yeah. Actually, I think they're already published, or they'll be up tomorrow. All right, so we're going to do a really fun exercise. The second sheet you have is your ad lib. So I don't know if you guys have ever done Mad Libs or done those cool books where you just fill in the blank with something quirky. And so in this case, I have your business model paragraph. I want you to take a bullet point from your boxes and fill it into a whole sentence. And so my product or service provides value to customer segment by very short description. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with key partners who help us achieve, and that's key activities, product development, and or access to customers. So you can choose one, right? So I'm partnering with these guys in order to access my customers. We expect to spend money on costs, which could include product or key resources, and plan to make money by revenue streams, subscription, one-time fees. So use what you've put into your business model canvas to fill out your ad lib sheet. And for the folks online, you can just write this down and feel free to share it in the chat. And at the end, I will be taking some volunteers, whoever wants to stand up and read us their statements. That would be great.
Okay, Nez has put it in the Slack channel.
Thank you, Nez. So everybody should be able to download that and work with that. So we are running close on time. Does anybody want to share? It's okay if it's not complete. All right, can we get a mic?
Okay, my name is Evelyn. My company is Mindful Alliances. My business provides value to workforce development or career development professionals by solving the impact of hidden trauma in adults and the workforce development system. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with Goodwill of Southern Nevada, that is a global entity, who help us achieve, help us evaluate the pilots, providing feedback for curriculum and materials. We expect to spend money on proprietary curriculum, bringing it to scale, with licensing agreements and merchandise, and plan to make money by licensing curriculum, selling train-the-trainer workshops, and selling well-being materials.
That was really good. That's great. Awesome. Let me get back to Roxana. Great. Awesome. That was a great example. Perfect. Thank you. Does anybody else want to share? All right.
All right, my name is Crystal. Our company is Perfect Peace Productions, and we aim to provide value to seniors and others who are digitally illiterate or businesses who lack an online presence. Well, we plan to teach them how to use their phone, how to use their website, help them manage websites, help them to use a laptop, how to get on social media, basic things that all of us in this room probably know, people in the older generation do not. So in order to deliver this value to our customers, we want to partner with senior centers, churches in our community, religious centers, community centers to help us access those customers and let us know where there's a need. We expect to spend money on the domains for the websites. We build video and photography equipment for if they need videos and photography of their businesses, and a meeting space and possibly laptops. We plan to make money by charging for classes, charging for website services, and charging for photography and videography.
Great. Good job. All right. All right. Anybody online?
Yes, we have one. It's Kyron. Kyron, why don't you just unmute? You're very well spoken. You can read this yourself.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so let me fumble around and not speak well now. Yeah, my protocol provides value to innovators and creators. It's interesting, yeah, by enhancing cognition and energy. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with a media studio to help us reach innovators and creators. And we expect to spend money on marketing tools, social media advertising, AI services, and we make money through books, publications, prizes, including the X Prize, and product bundles, coaching, education, and group training.
Great. Awesome. Great job. Okay, so perfect. So that was a couple of really great examples. And anytime you maybe have tried to share your business model with anybody, maybe it starts down this whole long rambling, like, well, I got to explain, and let me tell you about this. And okay, so I have to educate you a little bit. And there's a lot of that is how it starts, and that's okay. But we want to start moving in this direction of using something that's so succinct that says this is the product, this is who it's for, this is who I'm partnering with to make it happen. And like I got your businesses like that when you said it that way. So we use this business model canvas to just like I call it dumping the junk drawer out, right? Like we got to organize it, like all of our thoughts, all the things that we want to create. Let's dump it all on the table. Let's put it into this business model canvas, and then let's organize it into this statement in the ad-lib. So this was a great example of what that looks like to streamline it all into your thoughts. So redo your business model canvas. It's meant to be iterated and pivoted and changed up. And then you can create a different statement for all of the different products, for all the different people that you're going to work with, different flavors of it. It can change and it should change. Do we have a question over here? Oh, Roxana.
And Cara, we have one online too. Calvin, do you want to read it yourself?
Or hang on, we've got one in the room real quick. It's fine. It's fine.
I just had a little bit more time, so I just had a couple more things when we all began. My idea provides value to anyone and everyone, especially government or enterprise, by giving them back the power of choice and passing that along to their audience through fighting AI in terms of what we want to see. And this is just a hypothetical, we partnered with Mama, aka the S&P leading as well as bought Hoobie and Linktree, who might help us achieve distribution, customer acquisition, and existing user interface. We expect to spend money on network security, lobbying Washington, and obtaining first influencers, and plan to make money by asking them to regard their home screen as the main counterintelligence to artificial/simulated intelligence we're dealing with today.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'll give him a round of applause. Great, thank you. Yeah, so great. So I would encourage you to be a little bit more specific on who your customers are and the idea itself and the description of it. But the goal of this is that we have now brought our ideas out into the world, and that gives us some ability to now workshop them and mold them and talk to other people about them. And so, we want to reduce uncertainty to create value. So everything that we have done today, we've put all these things on the canvas. Many of them are guesses and assumptions. They are things that we are uncertain about. So the plan, and I don't have my questions on here, Maggie, but I'm going to just say them real quick. The goal is to take everything that you have, put on your canvas, and make a list of things that you need to test. I don't know any of these things for sure. So I am going to go out and test. Is this a real key partner I could work with? Is this an actual feature that I could build? Are these customers that would be interested? Is this a problem that they actually care about? And so what I encourage you all to do after this class is make a long list of assumptions, all the things that you don't know, right? And the canvas is a first place to start. And the only way to test those assumptions is to talk to other people. You do not have the answers in your head. You have to find them outside this building. You have to find them by talking to your customers. When you talk to your customers, you should be asking open questions. If you are asking anything that has to do with your product, anything that's really you-centric about your product, your services, the thing that you are doing, you're automatically going to get a yes or no answer, and people are not going to give you what you want to hear. So actually, they are going to give you what you want to hear, but it's not what you need. And so you should be focusing your questions on the problem and on them. And so if you think about the energy exchange of that conversation, they should be the ones talking, and you should just be listening. And they should be venting to you about all the problems and all the things that they have to go through. And this sucks. And I wish this would be better. And you write all that stuff down, and you're like, okay, I've tested my assumptions. I've asked the questions. I maybe have a new set of questions now to test. And that's where we have started to create value, because now this scribble of uncertainty has started to make a little bit more sense, and we know a little bit more about who our customers are, the things that they want, the types of products that they're willing to interact with. So we have to ask these open-ended questions about the problem, not about the product, because the product doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's the problem that you're trying to solve. The problem is the product is the thing at the end. Okay. So I think we're out of time, actually.
Well,
I
Cara,
think we are too,
two
guys.
more-
I'm going to fly through this one.
I think there's some questions online.
Oh, okay. Do we have questions online?
We have 2 ad libs online, and since they took the time to write them, I want to read them.
Okay.
Okay, so Calvin, his is my luxury chauffeur transportation service caters to Las Vegas tourists and business travelers, offering them a premium and reliable travel experience. To ensure top quality service, we invest in maintaining a modern fleet of high-end vehicles and employing expert chauffeurs. Our revenue is generated through direct client bookings and long-term corporate agreements, positioning us as a leading provider in the luxury transportation market. I think that's very succinct and specific.
That was very good. That was very good. Good job.
Okay, and from Patty, we have the Ops Box solution provides value to small businesses with 1 to 19 employees struggling with day-to-day operations by being easy to start, low cost, and producing high-quality work product to build the operational foundation from which to grow and expand. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with a business exit strategist who helps us find engaged clients that are interested in building their business value. We expect to spend money on our website, high quality labor, and FRCOO salaries. And plan to make, and plan to make money by selling monthly subscription-based Ops Box fractional COO retainers, high-level project with work and coaching sessions. I'm sorry I botched that so poorly.
Okay, awesome. Great job.
All right, and there is a question of how many customers should they be thinking about asking these questions to?
Oh, a good standard is 25, bonus points if you get 100. But
Well, that's a goal.
it's a goal. I have challenged people to talk to 25 customers in a week. And when you are challenged to do that and you have that list of uncertainties, I have seen 90% of the people I've challenged in the previous class that I taught, they did it. They talked to 25 people. Don't talk to your family, right? Customers. But you can do it. If you take a week, 2 weeks, and you go out and you talk to customers, anybody who can help you address those uncertain questions. Obviously, the more the better. But the more people you start to talk to and you start to ask these questions of, you start to refine some of those uncertainties. And our goal is to get to this point where we've created value, and that value is that I have a better idea of what my company is, where it's going to live in this market. And I know that now after I've talked to people versus I'm assuming and I'm guessing. Question. We gotta.
Can we start doing this now wherever we are? Because I was just downtown having a drink. I was talking to a guy from Zappos, who's the HR manager, and I was pitching the idea of think about it, viable to them. We can just start now.
So the question is if we just start now and just start talking to people. Yes, but I would encourage you not to just be pitching people, because it's not so much. Okay, yeah, it's about the problem, right? So if you're talking to this guy at Zappos, and you're trying to solve a problem, ask him, hey, there's this thing, I'm just trying to understand. I see that this problem exists. What do you think about that problem? Do you experience that problem? What's your version of that problem? What's your interaction? Oh, you don't? Okay, well, do you know anybody who does? And you start to just follow that thread and you see who cares more about this problem than I do. Okay. We got to get into pricing, and we're already out of time, so we may just fly through it. So here's Rikshana. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, guys. That's a hard act to follow. Thank you, Cara. Okay, so know that when I fly through this, there is more resources and more information on Canva. So we're going to try to get through this very quickly so you guys can spend some time with your mentors, because you guys only get to spend time with them once a week and me twice. So, okay, so pricing strategy. How much should I charge? How much can you charge? So pricing factors. So think about your sales volume, sales revenue, market share, competitive advantage, company image, and profitability. Factors that influence pricing are cost of goods, demand for product, service, competition, market pricing, customer perceptions, and margin standards. Your price factors influenced by pricing are your sales volume, your sales revenue, market share, competitive advantage, company image, and profitability. Position, the pricing process. 3 steps. First, evaluate pricing position and constraints, low, high, or parity, regular competition, demand. Consider pricing strategies and policies, which are target market, market position, profit potential, volume, bundled, fixed, high margin, and discount price. Set prices, which is number 3, cost, market price, price positioning, return on investment, and perceived quality value and substitute. Okay, so benefits. On the lower end, we have forces competitors to keep prices low, attracts customers to take advantage of special or low prices, may increase sales and frequency of buying. On the higher price end, profit margins are high, fewer transactions needed, brand has a higher perceived value or image, customers think products, services are better than others in the market. Parity, which is it means equal, which Cara explained to me. Forces competitors to keep market prices fair, creates industry standards for costs and margins. So your drawbacks to the lower end of your pricing, must be market leader for the lowest prices or best deals. Competes at very low margins, attracts price-sensitive customers, and for the higher price, attracts a small niche or portion of the market. Sales volume or number of transactions may be lower than other providers in the market. And drawbacks on parity, must maintain prices that are the same as the other competitors, competes at low or fair margins, may not differentiate from other competitors. Position, tips for pricing services, pricing your services. Consideration, willingness to pay, what's the range? Perceived value, look at your competitors' pricing, reputation, non-billable time, and taxes. Position, creating a price list. The point, making accessing your product or service as easy and exciting as possible. It's not just a list, it's a tool. Essential elements, clarity, visibility, ease of use, product pictures, item descriptions, shipping and delivery details, return other policies. So here's an example of Sweet Regards Bakery. So you see here they have their contact information, size options are listed, quantity, a discount options here are listed, and payment options at the bottom. Don't worry, this will be available in Canva. I'm just trying to fly through it. Bear with me. Position, looking back at pricing strategy. Topics covered, how much to charge, 3-step pricing processes, factors affecting pricing, and price lists. Ta-da. Thank you. So know that there are more resources for you guys on Canva if you guys have questions. This is important. Pricing, of course, is how you make your money. So go on Canva, ask the questions, make sure you understand. And we will be touching back on this at some point throughout our next few weeks. Everybody good? Any questions? Okay.
Yeah, so there's something after this.
Okay.
Is there something after this? Like how do we do
yes,
that?
there is.
Online?
So for everybody that is in class and not virtual, we actually have our mentors here. And we have some fabulous mentors, which is why we try to encourage everybody to come in on Thursdays, because you get to spend some one-on-one quality, or Wednesdays, sorry. On Wednesdays, on Wednesday, I know, I'm messing up all the days. On Wednesdays, because you get some face-to-face time with some quality mentors. So if you guys can, please try to at least make your Wednesdays in person.
Okay, so Thursday's the secret club.
Thursdays, nothing happens. I will be here by myself, apparently waiting for everyone. There you go.
Thank you.
Thursdays are.
Hi, this is Ria. I have a question.
Go ahead, Ria.
It's specifically though for Calvin. I just wanted to know if the business is existing or up in
Calvin has the high quality chauffeur business.
Correct.
So
yes.
is Calvin still on here? Yes, he is. Calvin Oliver. Now you guys can chat with each other if you want in the chat, or Calvin, if you want to unmute, you can.
I did send
Ria
a message, so I just didn't know if it got lost among all the messages. So thank you guys for letting me take that time.
Okay, so if Cara is still here, we have a question that she can answer. Oh, okay. Rakshana? Can we get Cara? Hi, can we get Cara to come back to the stage?
Yes, she's coming.
As if we have a stage.
Crazies.
Did I turn this on? Can you hear me?
Okay, hi, Cara. There's a question about Canvas. Okay, and since I know you're the expert, I wanted you to be able to answer this.
Okay.
So the question is, how do we know what things to do when in Canvas? They're having trouble navigating and knowing what the homework is and where the discussion boards are located.
Right. So when we are in the position module right now, so when you first log in, you're going to see your dashboard. It'll have the ideate module, the position module. So click into that and then just click through it. And really, there's no right way, wrong way to use Canvas. Just log into that module and then just at the bottom, like scroll all the way down to the educational content and just hit the right arrow. There's little videos and stuff in there. And then at the bottom, it'll prompt you to fill out your personal vision statement, your business model canvas, all that stuff. The discussion boards can be accessed there on the left menu. And it'll say discussions, and you can click on that and it'll open up a new discussion board every twice a week. And those are reflection questions in there. And so the best way for you to engage with your online mentors is to respond to those reflection questions. Those are public responses. So your classmates can respond, the online mentors can respond, and you can get real feedback on, you know, your interpretation and how you've applied it to your own company. I'm sorry, it's getting a little loud in here.
Yeah, Patty, is that helping you? Anybody who's online, you can always send an email to Cara@startupnv.org. And, you know, if we need to, we can set up an online mentoring session and just go through Canvas.
Yep. Okay, it may be hard for me to continue to take questions up here. It's getting very loud.
Okay, so
I'm happy to answer anything on chat.
okay, so the mentors stay for about an hour after we start their session. So now we're starting them about 15 minutes late. So they'll be here till about 7:45. All right, gang, again, I have to go and help mentor. So thank you all for joining us. We'll be back on Monday. It's not a holiday. The 27th is a holiday, so we'll be missing that one and just doing Wednesday of that week. All right, gang, thank you. Bye. Thanks, Patty. And everybody. Bye.